Welcome to You Can Be Healed with Connie, episode 18, How to Deal with Anger in Buddhist Way. Anger is the most extreme negative force. One moment of anger can lead to great regret forever. Anger can destroy friendship, marriage, and any kind of relationships that take decades to build. There are many common triggers for anger, such as losing your patience, feeling as if your opinion or efforts are not appreciated, and injustice. We all have our unique anger triggers based on what we were taught to expect from ourselves, others, and the world around us. Your personal history and experiences feed your reactions to anger too. For example, if you were not taught how to express anger appropriately, your frustrations may simmer and make you miserable, or build up until you explode in an angry outburst. So first, we have to understand, where do our anger come from? At the end of this episode, I will share how to handle your anger in a loving relationship from a Buddhist monk. So make sure you listen to the end. Before we go on, please subscribe to my channel to show me some support. I upload new episodes and healing music twice a week to help you increase your emotional health, inner peace, and live a much happier and fulfilling life that you deserve. Now, let's continue. The common causes of anger are ego, fear, and frustration. First, ego. We always think that we are always right and others are wrong. What we are saying must be heard and followed. We can say that we get angry if our ego is not satisfied. And fear. Behind anger always lies fear of being powerless, or fear of losing the person or losing our belongings. We think that being aggressive and overreacting is the best way to show that we are strong. Anger is being used as defensive response to the feelings of helplessness. Whenever you express the emotions of anger, just ask yourself one question: what am I afraid of? For example, if the driver is not driving properly and you are showing aggressive behavior with the driver, it might be that you are afraid of accidents which might damage the car or hurt you. If you are angry with your son, your daughter, or your spouse when he or she is late, it is the internal fear that whether they are safe. If an employee is disobeying the order and you get angry, it might be the fear of being powerless. If a worker is not performing his duty, which results in poor performance of the company, and you get angry, it can be the fear that your boss might evaluate you poorly. There's a saying that the angry people are those people who are most afraid. And frustration. Anger always comes from frustrated expectation. When things do not go as we wish or as we planned, and there is an obstacle, we immediately become frustrated and angry on person around us. There are people who can deal with these problems in a calm and rational manner, but there are many who are internally weak and have no control on their thoughts, react angrily. Frustration not only creates anger, but also leads to depression, because a frustrated person sees everything as a problem and becomes negative. In our day-to-day life, some people may hurt you with their words and action, and you cannot change them, but you can change the thoughts and develop a habit of letting go. Accepting life is one of the ways of avoiding frustration. Buddha advises us to neither bottle up nor let our emotions overflow, but to analyze them and come to understand the faulty thinking behind anger. Now, I want to share a short lesson on how to handle anger in a loving relationship from a famous Zen master, a Vietnamese Buddhist monk called Thich Nhat Hanh. He shared, if you know what's the root of your anger, you can transform your anger. When you are feeling angry, it's very often you think that it's someone else who caused you angry. And the truth is, no one outside can do or say something makes you angry. What you don't know is the seed of anger is already inside you. Imagine that other people, if they hear such a thing or if they see such a thing, they may not get as angry as you. So why is that? Because the seed of anger in other people is smaller than yours. The seed of anger in you is big, and that's why you got angry easily. You have to accept the fact that the main cause of your suffering, of your anger, is the seed of the anger in you. It's big, and not to blame everything on the outside environment or on the other person. And if you don't know how to handle your anger, your suffering will spill over to other people. When you are angry, you suffer, and the people around you suffer too, including your beloved one. I want to share the Buddhist way to help you recognizing, embracing, calming, and transforming your anger. We all know that anger is not good for everyone, but most of the time you can't help yourself because you are overwhelmed by the energy of violence of the anger. That's why everyone should learn the art of embracing anger and transforming it. And the first step is to learn how to breathe mindfully, to smile to your own anger, and to embracing your anger tenderly. When we notice anger manifest in us, we should not do or say anything, because when we do or say something out of anger, it's guaranteed that will bring about negative results that will make us regret later. That's why when anger manifests in us, the best thing to do is to practice mindful breathing, to keep silence, to take care of your anger, and not to talk or try to do something with the person that we think to be the cause of our anger. One very simple practice to apply in the moment that anger arises is, say to yourself, I know that I am angry now. And then breathe deeply. While breathing out, say, I send compassion towards my anger. This on-the-spot practice can instantly provide a moment of mindfulness and sanity. It helps you take better care of yourself rather than putting yourself down. And it heads off negative behaviors that we realize we don't want to do, because such reactions have not really helped us in the past, and that can lead us to do or say something we will regret later. And then remind yourself, these too shall pass. Breathe in and breathe out. Then consider how to respond and not simply to react. On the other hand, if someone makes you angry, you should not try to suppress your anger, because suppressing your anger can be very dangerous. Using the energy of mindfulness to recognize your anger and embrace it tenderly is much safer. That don't mean you do not have the right to tell the person you are angry that you suffer, that he or she has done something or say something that make you suffer and angry. You can instead tell him or her in a loving manner or with loving speech. Here's how you can do it. First, make a deadline for 24 hours. And before or within that 24 hours, you have to tell that person that you are angry and you suffer, and you would like him or she to know. You don't have the right to keep your anger for yourself alone for more than 24 hours because it's not healthy. You should tell that person in a calm speech. If you cannot do it, you can write it down on a piece of paper or a message with a specific script, and here's a formula of the letter writing. In the first line, you may write to that person. For example, that person is your husband or your loved one. You start with, "Darling, I suffer. I am angry, and I want you to know it. I don't know why you have done such a thing to me. I don't know why you had said such a thing to me. I suffer very much. I am angry, and I want you to know." That's the first sentence of the letter or the message that you should write. And the second line you want to write is, "I know you are doing your best. Darling, I'm doing my best too." This means you are telling that person that you are trying and you are practicing the mindfulness in order to take care of your anger. In order to bring relief, then you should be looking deeply into your anger and see what is the root of your anger. Maybe it's your wrong perception that has created the anger, or because of your pride, your ego. Generally, our anger is created from our lack of understanding and compassion. So the second line you write down is, "Darling, I'm doing my best." So when the other person reads this sentence, he or she will have admiration for you, that you are a person who knows how to handle your anger. You don't react angrily like other people, so that you inspire that person practice the same. That person will think, "What have I done to her? What have I said to make her suffer like that?" And that's an invitation for the other person to do the same. Very gentle, very non-violent. "Darling, I'm doing my best." And the third line, it can be very difficult to say or to write down, but this is the line. "Please help me." Because usually when you get angry at him or her, you want to show that you don't need him or her. You want to prove you can survive. You can very well survive alone. And that is the pride and ego that always goes with anger. If you are capable of writing it down, darling, I suffer, I need your help, you will suffer much less right away. Even if he or she has not done anything, the fact is that you can bring yourself to write down that sentence to bring your anger down. Darling, I need your help. When he or she gets the message, he or she will think very deeply about it. What have I done to make she angry like that? What have I said to make her suffer? This simple action and message allows you to help your loved ones to do the same, because you are both on the path of healing and transformation, and you can transform the energy of anger and violence into the energy of understanding and compassion. When we are angry, we are not very lucid. That is why acting out of anger will bring more suffering. If you're really angry, don't do anything, don't say anything. Instead of writing it down to let him or her know, that's much better than to use your anger to prove something or to prove you're right. It doesn't worth it. So make sure that you deliver that message to that person within the deadline, within 24 hours, and you will feel better. The energy of anger can be very powerful, that if you make use of that energy, you will do a lot of things. Anger is a tremendous kind of energy. The teaching of the Buddha is that anger can never remove anger. Anger can only promote more anger. Only understanding and compassion can put down the flame of anger in us and in the other person. Understanding and compassion is the only antidote for anger. When you're using that, you heal yourself and help the people who are victims of anger. That's why we cannot believe the benefit of anger, because anger will always bring more anger. Violence will always bring more violence. Next time, when you notice you are angry, ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? My dear friends, love is better than anger. Hope is better than fear. Optimism is better than despair. So let us be loving, hopeful, and optimistic. We will not only change ourselves for better, we can also change our next generations and change our world for better. I hope you enjoyed this episode and hope it inspires you and it brings you more inner peace. Do comment and let me know your thoughts. Thanks again for listening wherever you are. I'm sending you love and light, and may peace and happiness be always with you. Take care and stay safe and blessed.